of course, that story is the members of Gaia's Earth story. For I speak from my light body self. Would you like to see me in this body? Sue. Yes. Miter. Then close your eyes and type what you see with your third eye. You see the bridge of your beloved ship, don't you? Sue. Yes, I feel such joy that I can hardly contain it. Miter. Are you able to contain your emotions now, Suziel? Sue. Barely, but I will pull myself together so that you can continue. Miter. Actually, Suziel, as well as all who receive our message, we wish that you allowed yourselves to fall apart. By that we mean that we wish that you all allow yourselves to, as you would say, go back to the ones and zeros. We do mean that literally. However, we do not mean the ones and zeros of your holographic Earth vessels. Gaia is transcending beyond her third and fourth dimensional holographic habitat zones. Just as you, the members of humanity, have holographic zones for your third dimensional self, so does Gaia. Gaia is ready to return to her pure, light body self that offers a fifth dimensional habitat zone. In other words, the third and fourth dimensional habitat zones are in the process of release. These zones will be relocated to another planet in another galaxy. Those who are unable to release their essence from the holographic projection they have been wearing for their myriad adventures on Gaia's third-fourth dimensional habitat zones, will relocate with those lower dimensional habitat zones. Gaia's fifth dimensional and beyond habitat zones will still be available for those who can expand their consciousness enough to adjust their perceptions to the fourth and fifth dimensions. This shift into higher dimensional habitat zones is what is known to humanity as ascension. The third dimensional habitat zone will be released first, and the fourth dimensional habitat zone will serve as an in-between zone that will simultaneously exist around Gaia, as well as around its new home. Eventually, the fourth dimensional habitat zone will be fully relocated to the other planet, and Gaia will be fully in the splendor of her light planet self. We, your galactic and celestial family, are focusing our attention consciousness into the heart of Gaia, so that we can assist all who are prepared to make this shift into your human light body. Please know that no disasters are necessary, as the lower dimensional zones will still be available to those who are not prepared to leave the third-fourth dimensional wheel of life and death. Humanity will experience this event in the manner that is consistent with their state of consciousness. Those whose consciousness can only resonate to the beta waves of the third dimensional zone will be offered many fourth dimensional dreams to assist them to awaken. On the other hand, all life that has aligned themselves with Earth, such as the plant, animal, and insect kingdom, will follow Gaia's lead and flow into the habitat zone of Gaia's choice. This group includes humans who deeply love Gaia and live in alignment with her planetary needs. Therefore, there will be many humans who will make this shift without any awareness that it is occurring. Instead, they will notice that life is becoming increasingly better and better. They will likely believe that this improvement is because of a social issue, rather than a planetary issue. This shift of habitat zones will be unconscious to many humans, but if the resonance allows them to perceive the shift, they will find reasons for the improvement of life on Earth that are consistent with their belief system. There is no concept of good or bad in the fifth dimensional habitat zone because that zone is free of all polarity. Because many humans will still need to live within some version of polarity, the fourth dimensional habitat zone will remain bilocated on both Gaia and the other planet for as long as Gaia can contain that low frequency around her being. Gaia is releasing the restraints of the third dimensional zone because it has been very damaging to her health. She is a loving planetary mother and has tolerated her destructive children as long as possible. However, her body cannot heal with the constant negativity and destruction to her form that the third dimensional habitat zone has created. Furthermore, Gaia's tour of duty is coming to its closure. There have been other timelines, times that were predicted by awakened humans, in which she could have released her third dimensional habitat zone. However, because so many of her human life forms would not have been able to translate their consciousness to that dimension, Gaia waited. Dear Gaia waited to release that third-dimensional habitat zone in hopes that, eventually, these humans would be able to perceive their planet in Earth's higher dimensional splendor. Because Gaia was not willing to release so many of her children, she chose to keep that lower zone open for as long as possible. The truth is that it was always meant to be a temporary grounding zone, which was much like a landing pad. However, Gaia became so deeply injured by the events during the Atlantis cycle, that the consciousness of many of her humans fell into the third-dimensional habitat zone. This zone was meant to be a place for evolutionary beginnings. In this evolutionary zone, the elementals could play with the energy fields of that zone to create myriad versions of plants and animals. These plants and animals all lived in unity consciousness and knew that they were one with the entire planetary system. Even the early primitive humans lived in unity consciousness with the planet. Unfortunately, Gaia with her loving spirit allowed laggards from other planets who could not ascend with their own planet, as well as visitors from other planets who lived by the laws of power over others, to enter her third-dimensional habitat zone. These laggards and visitors with power over consciousness had such a low state of consciousness that they could not even perceive Gaia's fourth and fifth dimensional habitat zones. Gradually, the energy field of the laggards and the power over others began to dominate Gaia's evolutionary habitat zone. Then, that which once resonated to the Garden of Eden format of unconditional love increasingly fell into a 3D zone of polarity. Those early immigrants to Earth are still found within many of the ruling systems of Earth. Because their consciousness is so low, they are unable to even conceive of ascension into a higher reality. However, they have used their technology to look into a possible future in which they could not participate. Hence, they have been fighting against the relocation of life to the higher dimensional habitat zones. Gaia has given them all the time she can give to allow these lost ones to transmute their energy fields into the higher frequencies. In fact, she has received a special dispensation so that they will not be able to move into her fourth dimensional habitat zone and will need to continue their lessons on another planet. These lost ones will not know that they have been relocated to another planet, as their total awareness is focused on the power over others that has ruled them for untold incarnations. They will, of course, have an opportunity to shift their awareness away from power over others and into power within themselves. Those who are successful with that shift in their consciousness will be able to remain with Gaia's adventure once they have allowed unconditional love to take a permanent resonance within their hearts. On the other hand, all of Gaia's elemental, plant, animal, and insect kingdoms will naturally flow into the fourth and/or fifth dimensional habitat zones. In fact, the fourth dimensional zone has many mystery schools in which humanity has studied for eons. Humans often visit these mystery schools while they are in their fourth dimensional alpha wave consciousness of sleep or meditation. Thus, Gaia's fourth dimensional habitat zone has been opened for humanity to visit while in their alpha wave consciousness. However, because of the fear in the many humans of their dimensional life, they have only been able to visit while in that higher state of consciousness, or after the expiration of their physical form. The fourth dimensional zone has been primarily used as a cycle of the wheel of life and death. Gaia is happy to announce that her fourth dimensional habitat zone has merged with her third dimensional habitat zone. However, her lower astral plane has remained in place to weed out those who still live within the power over format. The lower astral plane lies in between her third and fourth dimensional habitat zones. In order for any of Gaia's humans to resonate to their fourth dimensional frequency of consciousness, as well as that frequency of perception, they must create a tunnel of light and love through the dark effluvia that has collected around Gaia's aura. Every being that creates that tunnel of light through the lower astral plane is greatly assisting Gaia to allow more multidimensional light to flow into planetary self. It was no mistake that that dark zone surrounds Gaia. In fact, the ones who wanted power over Gaia purposefully created that lower astral zone. The lower astral zone is not a habitat zone. Instead, it is a barrier created by the lost ones so that the beings within the third dimensional habitat zone would have difficulty entering the fourth dimensional habitat zone. This lower astral serves like a smokescreen to trap beings in the third-dimensional illusions of polarity and separation. To create that zone they created myriad wars, conquests, and immense cruelties so that they could create fear. The lower astral zone is the zone of fear. Of course, in their arrogance, they did not consider that they would become trapped in that zone because of their own lower states of consciousness. Gaia asks now that all beloved children create a tunnel of light through their own fear. In this manner, they will create a tunnel of light through the collective fear of all their incarnations. We, the Galactics, are also serving Gaia in this manner. We have come into the zone between the third and fourth dimensional habitat zones to assist humanity to clear it. We say assist humanity because Gaia is a planet of free will and cause and effect. Therefore, humans must choose to assist Gaia with the clearing of the lower astral plane, not because of the selfish, personal reason of their own ascension, but for the unselfish, planetary reason of responding to Gaia's request. Because Gaia is a cause and effect planet, and humanity is the primary cause of the lower astral plane, humanity must be the ones to clear it. However, if humanity asks us, their galactic family, to assist them in clearing Gaia's lower astral plane, we can assist. In fact, with our technology, we could instantly clear it. However, if humanity does not take responsibility for creating that plane with their fear, as well as learning how to gain mastery over their fear, the lower astral plane will be created again. Do you understand now why the humans who live within the power over others' consciousness are trying to frighten you? Do you see now why they have created a constant state of some war occurring in one or more places? Most important, do you see now how very important you are? You, the humans of Earth, have the ability to clear the one barrier left between you and your return to your fifth-dimensional habitat zone of light body. If you ask us, your galactic family, to assist, we can assist. However, if you continue to react to life with fear and anger, our assistance will be much like cleaning off your freeway. Within hours that freeway will be just as dirty as it was before cleaning it. Therefore you, the members of humanity, need to clear the lower astral plane because your fear created it. Yes, you had very good reasons for fear. The Dark Ones created wars and supported both sides, so that they could make money. If you knew how much the Dark Ones manipulate your consciousness every day and in every way, you would be enraged. Therefore, we will not tell you. Rage is a version of fear and will only serve the very power over format that we are asking you to clear. However, we will and do ask you to send these lost ones unconditional love. When you send unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness, and don't forget the violet fire, to the powers of darkness, you actually transmute their cellular structure into a higher frequency. They, the core members of this ancient group, are terrified that you will transmute them in this manner. They are terrified because, deep inside they know that you have the power to rise above their power over indoctrinations. You see, when you send unconditional love and violet fire to that which causes you fear, and fear's best friend, anger, you will resonate beyond the Dark One's perceptual field. In other words, your consciousness will resonate to a frequency beyond the lower astral plane. By shifting your individual consciousness into the higher fourth and fifth dimensional dimensions, you create a bridge of light and love over, under, around, and through the lower astral plane. This bridge of light is not a structure. It is a state of consciousness in which you refuse to participate in the third-dimensional illusion of power over others. What if all the humans who remember their self, joined together as one and created a bridge of light and love over, under, and through all fear/darkness? What if you remembered every day to create a bridge of light and love over, under, and through all fear/darkness? What if you gathered in groups all over the world to create this bridge? The answer to all these questions is the same. You would greatly assist Gaia by clearing the lower astral plane that was created by human fear. Dear volunteers to take an Earth vessel to assist Gaia, we ask that you create small groups all over the world. Once these groups are created, you can gather, in person or virtually via your computers, to work specifically with the chosen place or places on Gaia of each group. 2. 1. Transmute the lower astral plane with the power of your unconditional love and violet fire. 2. Work directly with the elementals of earth, air, fire and water to assist them to accept and integrate the higher light of the fifth-dimensional habitat zone. 3. Share your experience with others around the earth to create an energy field of unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, transmutation of the violet fire. These energy fields of unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and violet fire encircling Gaia's globe will be protected and maintained by the members of each group to assist Gaia to create unity consciousness with the group and with Gaia. Clear Gaia's lower astral plane. Empower and transmute all planetary life at an elemental level. Once the elementals, who are the building blocks of all physical life, are unconditionally loved and transmuted, they will spread that gift to all physical matter. How do we do that, I hear you asking? We, the Pleiadians, will give you the same answer that our friends the Arcturians would give. We don't know because you have not created it yet.